Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Greater Good podcast. And for this episode, we have two renowned guests, Mr. Antony Surajitha and Surajitha. Mr. Antony has been working with the rural kids in Kolar in empowering them on education, sports, and also in terms of impact with creating pink rooms for women and pioneering the concept for pink rooms. We also have Surajitha, who is an alumni of SmartQ, who has also been a core team member who's supporting Antony in his cause. Antony has set up the Heart of Giving Foundation to enable all of this work. Let's dive right into it and hear from the people themselves. So, sir, I think it'll be great to start with you to get to know you a little better and a little bit of your background, how you came about into this space, right? What brought you into this society and doing greater good for the society, right? If you could just tell us your story from where it all started.
Yeah, hi Keshav. I think I started my career at a very young age. Maybe 1997 when I started my career, it was with Ramco Systems.
Okay.
So I spent about 9 years at Ramco.
Okay.
I moved on to...
It wasn't into industrial, was it into that manufacturing?
No, it was IT. Ramco Systems is into ERP.
ERP system.
ERP. So I was the IT division.
Okay.
So I was part of the Bangalore team. Later I moved on to Randstad, where I spent Randstad, where I spent another 9 years.
Okay.
Right? And I was promoted as the country head. I had to move to Chennai.
Okay.
Staying away from family was very difficult. Therefore, I had to let go my career. The choice was between family and the career.
Right.
It was a good opportunity, but I had to come back to Bangalore. And the 2 years was a difficult time where I was thinking whether should I continue with my career or should I do something else. That is when I got a break with a Japanese company where I had to move to Kolar, or I used to travel to Kolar every day. So I was deputed in Kolar. That's where my social activity started.
Okay.
So if I have to say that why I got into social activities is because time actually forced me into that. So I had to go to Kolar and where I got to meet people, the students.
So there was somewhere God's hand in play to move you into this.
Very much.
And then it's also about you observing that, I've got a chance in Kolar, but you were open-minded enough to say, there is so many people who are, not getting the right facility or not getting the right kind of infrastructure. So how did you go and discover, there are problems which are there out there?
See, I would say that, this 18 or 20 years of my career, I have grown up from the scratch to the topmost. In fact, at the age of 42, I was heading the country. So I was very proud of it.
Where did you start? So I'll be interested to know because you said from scratch, right? I think you should go down. Every story, I feel, has the deepest insight when you go to the roots. I think that's where all the transformation change and you'll get to know the actual person behind the story, right? So it'll be good to hear your story of the roots.
Okay. So in that case, I started as a admin executive, not even an executive. I was an admin assistant working for Ramco Systems. Lowest grade, I would say that.
Somewhat like an office boy, would you say? Or
Just little above the office boy. Yeah, just a little above the office boy. So yeah, I started my career there. So over the period of time, I moved on to become the executive, where I was given the southern Bangalore and Hyderabad region. So that was a good growth there as far as Ramco is concerned. But when I moved to Mofa, actually things changed a lot. I moved there as an assistant manager. Then I became the manager. I became the manager for the South India.
Okay.
And in 2012, I became the country head. So it has a tragic side of it also. In fact, the person who I was reporting with, the country head, Peter Wesley, his name is Peter Wesley. Yeah, I was his blue-eyed boy, in fact. I was second in command after him, right? So he was on his way to meet me in Bangalore, where he actually passed away on the way to Bangalore. Like he had an heart attack and he passed away. So the next day I had to go to Chennai.
Okay.
So I had to take up his place with no other choice, right? So you were actually part of the project which was going on there in Chennai, and I was a right fit there, was what the management could feel that, and therefore I had to move there the very next day. All through, I would never want to move from Bangalore because I was very attached to family. So I didn't, though I had multiple offers from US and from South Africa through Raiko systems, I've always said no, family is more important to me. But here I had no choice. I had to move. So one is like there's a project which is midway and we are stuck.
Right.
I had to get it to one side.
Huge responsibility.
Very big, very big. And moreover, Peter was on his way when he passed away, on his way to my house when he passed away. So that was my moral responsibility to take it up. Therefore, I went to Chennai. But yeah, so during this journey, when I went to Chennai, like, you know, you are sitting in a very powerful seat, right? I realized the difference. If you ask me why I went to Kolar, why things changed, see, people will always respect you for your chair, the seat, not as an individual. That is what I felt. Because during that period of 2 years, like, they had a lot of importance. The day I said I'm going back to Bangalore, I had no importance. Like, everybody forgot. Nobody remembered Antony. Everybody remembered the head facilities when I was in power, right? So that is when I said, that was a realization. Like, I felt that, you know, people should respect you, not your chair. That was my personal realization.
That's a very deep
Yes.
observation, or like feeling. Yeah, that's true, sir. People should know you for your personality more than your titles.
That was a realization. So when I came back, so the 2 years of struggle, when I could get back to corporate, and at that time I felt that, okay, fine, I'm restarting, and this time I'm not going to it's not the respect for my seat, it's going to be respect for myself, where people will realize who I am.
Right.
That is when I said, okay, let me do something. And who am I going to do it for the ones here at this level? Right? So that's when I said, okay, fine.
For the people who struggle.
People who struggle. Right. So that's when I started my social activities. Yeah, it was very small. If you ask me, it was very small. You know, a couple of jerseys could make a big difference.
This was in which year? So, like
2017, I joined Shimizu. That was a Japanese company.
In Kolar, yeah.
2016, I'm sorry. 2016.
Okay. Incidentally, that was around the time when we started up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we were a baby when you were restarting your, approach. So yeah, I mean, little more into, we can go a little deeper on how your work took you to these opportunities. Who did you interact with? How did you know that these schools and these people needed a lot more support? Like how did that whole thing unravel, and how did you uncover that?
Yeah, so I would say that this opportunity came my way. I didn't go in search of it. It was a 50 acres land where the construction of factory was happening, and I was heading that project. So the nearby school actually met me. The PT master, his name is Dr. GM Srinivas. He met me saying that, sir, if you could just sponsor some. He had just moved to that school. So he wanted to make an impact, his coming into that school. So then he met me and said, if you could just sponsor about few jerseys or the tracksuit for students. And I asked him, how many you want? He said, about 2, 3, whatever you can. And how many students are there? He said, so many, about 18, 20 students. I said, okay, fine, I'll sponsor the entire 20 students. So that actually made a difference. Until then, Kurugal High School was not known anywhere in terms of sports. The year when I entered into that school, or with a jersey, they got into Taluk level. That was the first time they were champs at the Taluk level. So that time when I had actually casually told them that, during a speech that I want you guys to be the national champion one day. It was a casual talk. I just threw a word. I said, you should become a national champ. And the next year, somehow they got into national level through ball. It made a big difference. And
What was your realization, sir, in that? Like, how did whatever before them taking any help or reaching out to then whatever you did for them, what did you realize out of that entire?
see what happens, just the name actually. See, these students, when they go for a taluk level sports meet, they get to meet the other schools. Right? When, especially when it's a government schools, see, even basic footwear is difficult. Right? When at that level, when these people are with a blue jersey with their name and school name and their name, they feel proud about it. So it may, it actually boosts them to perform better, right? So that is where it made a difference. Just a few jersey, maybe just for the looks, but it actually impacted the students there, which made a difference.
Such a deal,
right?
Small lending hand could actually take them so far in there.
If you see somewhere in YouTube, you get to see the testimonial of Dr. G.M. Srinivasan. He actually talks about how things changed for him and for the school, the students.
Okay.
Just the small gesture has made a big difference for them. Ever since continuously they were at national level throw ball.
Amazing.
3 years. 17, 18 and 19. I think post-COVID, during COVID we didn't participate, but 3 years they were at the national level. Yeah, national champs.
Amazing.
Right. That made a big difference. After which then I told these students, in 2019 I told them, now that we have reached, somewhere we are known that we are the national champs, let's focus on studies. Right? When I asked them, what's your highest mark last year? Topper. They said 564. And I said, anybody one more mark above that, we'll get 1 lakh.
Wow.
Yeah, I just threw the word, okay? I wasn't prepared. Like everybody was shocked, including the staffs, the students, everybody was shocked. Of course, now that I've committed, I have to keep up to my words. I told them we'll catch up next year, and unfortunately it was COVID. Okay, right? We didn't have the exams. 21 or 20, for 2 years we didn't have exams, and 22 I went back. I said I promised, though it didn't happen. I still keep up to my words.
Right.
We will go ahead this year again.
Okay.
So, I think 4 students had crossed 550 mark. No, not 565, but they had crossed the 550 marks.
Right.
I distributed that among the 4. Each got 25,000 rupees, and that also made a difference.
Like, what did you see them, like, after them winning this prize? Did their parents start really, like, generally in what I've seen in government schools also is that they just look for, 10th or maybe first or second PUC, and they don't really ask them to kind of earn for the family or move into some kind of whatever job they can get at that point of time. Did that change or transform the thinking at the family level as well, that there is future in pursuing education, or what kind of changes you saw, sir, at that point?
There was one girl by name Kirtana. She was the topper in Kolar. Her ambition was to become an IPS officer. I said, bring her to me. I will take care of her. Right? Farmer's daughter. So, I gave her a MacBook Pro. I said, see, this is a small gift from my side, but if you can become an IPS officer, I'm with you. You can continue. So, if you see, especially in the rural Kolar, I've seen that the students are very smart. I've come across students, the result there is 100%. And if you see, most of them are first class. I have to compare it with my daughter. I would say they are much better than my daughter. The same syllabus is the same. Anybody who I talk to, any school I talk to, they say, what's your result? They say 100%, sir. So, and what about the first class? You will find majority in the first class. Students are very good. Without much facilities there, I've seen them to be very good.
So in Kolar, there is a attitude and mindset of keeping education as a
Much. Whichever school I've gone, they have
taken it very
very serious. Yes.
seriously. So what they need is just a boost,
Just that.
and they can go way higher.
Yes.
So in that effort, I know that you then went on to do a lot more initiatives on even the education front, right? So how did you go about it?
So after that was like we started setting up computer labs.
Okay. For each school, small computer.
Yeah. So the intention was, like as you said, to parents want them to continue their studies, or do they want them to earn for their family? Yeah, not everybody wants to continue because for various reasons, financial reasons. I said, okay, fine. So in that case, why not we set up a computer lab where people start learning computers at their high school level, 8, 9, 10. Focus was more on 10. So that anybody going out of school, if they know basics of computers,
They can easily get a job.
anywhere, right? Today, everywhere you go billing, you can either do a billing or a DTB operator, you can do anything. So we started focusing on setting up computer labs. The first lab was set up in Kamdenali High School.
Okay.
So the students there, it was inaugurated by the SP of Kolar that time,
Okay.
Mr. Devraj.
Okay.
So it made an impact, right? So I have another set of my friends. It's called the team is called Shikshan. They do the training. Saturdays they go from Bangalore,
Okay.
teach the students.
I was going to ask you, like, yes, you're setting up a computer lab, but are the teachers at a stage where they can impart that knowledge? So now you're saying you're training the teachers or you're training the students?
No. They are my friends. They run an NGO called Shikshan. It's run by Kiran and Vinod.
Shout out to Shiksham, guys. Shikshan, okay. Shout out to them.
So Rajesh is my very good friend. He was part of the during the COVID, he was part of my team
Okay.
as a COVID warrior. So he goes to Saturdays. He goes to Kolar every Saturday. He works for Metro.
Cash and carry.
No.
Or the metro rail.
Metro Rail.
Metro rail.
So he is superintendent
Okay.
for Hudi station. So he goes on Saturdays. Between 9 and 11 is a class, the computer class. So he teaches there. And end of the syllabus, that's say June to December, they teach. December they have a test for them.
Okay.
For all the schools, all the schools which they teach, everybody gets to, on that particular day, they have a exam, a test for whatever they have learnt. And there's something called Shikshan Habba, which they celebrate,
Okay.
which is apparently going to happen tomorrow. So the toppers are called there, including the students. All the students will assemble at that place.
Okay.
And the toppers would be given trophies and a laptop. The topper will be given a laptop, or others, the winner will be given trophies.
Amazing.
Right? So I was sure that, okay, fine, we have a very good team. See, I can only give something within my capacity. There's somebody who's doing more than me by teaching them, right? Spending their time. Everybody is working in an IT company. The person Vinod is working for ISRO.
Right.
Right. So they take out time to teach the students.
Very nice. All volunteer.
All volunteers at their cost. So that actually boosted, and we started increasing the number of schools.
Where you do the computer lab.
Computer labs.
So this setup, like how many computers are largely in each lab?
See, it depends on number of students. The students above 100, we set up 10 systems. The system in the sense, computer table, chairs, keyboard, mouse, so good systems which they can use up.
So one question, sir, how do you manage to, like, do you raise funds for such initiatives, or how do you work with getting the funding for such initiatives? Do you have a team or something like that, or?
See, when I started in 2016, I was alone, right? So there was a percentage of my salary which I used to save. only for this, right? When I got promised a 1 lakh, it was like RD every month.
Oh.
I had to open my RD so that next year, the same time, I have the funds in my hand. And 2022, 16 months after this, I think COVID changed me a lot. During COVID, things changed a lot. Made a big difference where I would feel that how blessed I am compared to others. That time I got into a lot of activities with the government, the police department.
So there's a separate segment we wanted to ask about COVID, all the things that you did during COVID and the COVID warriors that you all set up and the initiatives that set up. Maybe we can dive into that as well, and then probably come to how do you manage the. I know I feel a lot of it is self-funded, but it'll be good to hear from you all that.
So if you ask me about COVID, I think 23rd of March when we closed down. I think offices were closed down on 23rd March. 29th, I think it was complete shutdown.
Yes.
I was watching TV. It's about 2 in the morning. People walking down back home. No transport. Hotels are closed, so people had to walk back to their homes.
Hometowns.
Right? Mostly in the north. That actually really touched me. I told my wife, it's very painful to see them walking. I don't know what I can do for them. 2 o'clock in the morning, this thought came, I don't know what to do. How can I do? And she said, you can do that in Bangalore also. The next morning, immediately I went. That's when I got my salary, I think 30th of the month. And I went to the grocery shop, picked up whatever best I could put by. And all of us got together and started packing, groceries for about a family for about 2 weeks, which can go for 2 weeks. So I knew a lot of North Indian painters. I know people there in my surroundings. I told one guy, hey, do you know anybody who's suffering without food? So he brought somebody, and that word went on. Like, hey, you go there, you get groceries. It started. And all I did was, some people say that, you do something, don't have to tell what the right hand does, you don't have to tell the left hand. I don't believe that. Unless you tell.
People won't ask or come.
All I did was, I put up the status saying that we did this. People started getting back to me. My CEO, in fact, called me, said, Anthony, can I join you? I want to contribute. I can't do it myself. Can I go through you? I said, okay, yeah, of course. Then my sister. So everybody started, one by one. I was able to collect. My investment was only 8,600 rupees. But that made such an impact. The entire my company, the staffs contributed their salary, 1 day salary. It came out to about 4,13,000 rupees.
Wow.
Like,
amazing.
And we could touch almost about 400 families.
I think that's the power of one good noble thought when you share it, right? I think it's like a snowball effect that everyone wants to join hands with you when you're doing something for a good cause. Like recently, I'll talk of one of my experience as well. In October this year was, October 13th was my birthday, and I had just this thought that I should give food to people, rice, dal, and all of that, pack it and give, right? I just had this thought, I shared it with my wife that I want to do this. And then next day, I ordered with some provision stores on 100 kg bag of rice, dal, and all of these jaggery as well. And it came home, and already I started, in my house, there are 10 people, grandparents, and my parents and my kids, my brothers, his kids and all of that. And when all of this came, it was occupied in one room. And I thought, okay, they'll probably make a ruckus of me taking so much space and doing all, because I had to pack them in each separate individual covers and all of that. So I already knew, okay, I'll get shoutings. And next, I had just gone out for some work. After half an hour when I came back, all of them were sitting and packing. And then I joined them. And they were so happy that, okay, we are all doing this together. So they wanted to take part in some way. Right? It's just that I thought, okay, just try it. If it's a good thought, people will join you.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, I could see how that could also really come out when you share. I mean, COVID, really, that's where the struggle was. And it was really good to see that story come out. And then how did that transpire to the next set of things, sir?
Yeah, after that, I got into, we wanted to do more, first wave, second wave, and the second wave also as part of the police department.
Okay.
Yeah, so we used to do barricade duties.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you volunteer to...
yeah, I was the barricade duty, then I was the airport duty, quarantining people coming from Bombay, especially those days.
Wow.
So,
You put yourself in all the high risk area.
everything, like, my family used to, yeah, we are scared. They don't have to be scared. I think it'll happen. Yeah, so we were out. I think the entire period I was out. Most of the time I was out.
I think when you're going with that intent, internally you know you want to help people. Generally, you don't need to fear when you know you're doing the right thing, right? Yes. So things will work out. As we say, no, the greater hand would play a role in taking care of those things. So I think definitely that has come your way to help you, support you to do the things that you should continue to do. So very happy to hear that.
Yeah, finally I was also infected. I got my COVID and that's fine. So that was in the third wave. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it was a good journey in terms of going through the COVID time. Right. That actually made a difference. Then I said, okay, fine, now let me start something. Everybody needs a name, in the sense, I didn't want Antony to be known. I wanted an organization to be known. And I felt that I should start an organization. How long will I go? Anthony sponsored this, Anthony sponsored that. Instead, even in my absence, it should continue. Then I thought I should register an NGO. So it was on my mom's birthday. Then I felt that, soon after meeting her, took her blessings, and I was on the way to office, and I said, what do I name it? And I thought, okay, Heart of Giving is a good name. Okay, fine. Then
Immediately it resonates.
yeah, one. So I said, okay, I decided to register it. So it was, since it's a Section 8 company, right, it's not under trust or a society. Therefore, I needed 2 people.
Okay.
So more from the family would be better, because where we can take decisions ourselves than trust, where you need to depend on others.
Board and all of that.
Right. So my wife was always very supportive. In fact, all through. So she was a co-founder. So we started Art of Giving. So I think we have made a good impact in terms of, in the last 2 years, through Heart of Giving, the brand name of Heart of Giving, came up the pink room.
Okay. Right. So that was the second initiative with the same schools.
Yes.
There's
in Kolar, not the same school, but in different school.
Okay.
That's when we thought of pink room.
Around that time is when you met Surajitha, or even before that?
Just after that. In fact, Surajitha came to me for representing Smart Q. So
That's a different story altogether.
yeah, altogether.
I think you should share that. What happened first?
Yeah, so like Anthony sir said, I was trying to reach out to him. And, I generally go through LinkedIn profile before I generally reach out. So that's when I saw that, he's a part of he's in fact a founder of this organization. And I've been associated with, social service and social work since I was in school. So any form of help I would love to contribute in any way to the society basically. So we are talking about COVID times. During that time also I was of course it was kind of a virtual thing that I did, but I was associated with 2-3 NGOs, very nice, to raise funds for to help people basically. Of course I could not go on around because that was happening in Delhi and Mumbai, but from Assam, so I was that.
Okay, you're the rep.
Yeah. So I used to
remotely help all these initiatives.
So I was raising funds for them. So
actually, you could tell us a little bit about some of those childhood. From childhood, you've been in this space where wanting to give back and help people, right? You could share a little bit about that as well. I think it'll be good to hear those stories.
So Giving you an example of, suppose you're helping a dog that I see on the street. So helping somebody who does not have a copy or a pen, suppose. So everyone was not privileged as I was at that time. So maybe sharing my tiffin. So these are small gestures that came naturally to me. That okay, someone is in trouble, maybe I should go help. So, and I was also part of my college ka NSS team. So I had joined that, and there also we used to go for these boot camps wherein we used to help people from. So I did my bachelor's from Meghalaya, St. Edmund's College. So there, from the NSS team, we used to go to villages in Meghalaya, and we used to organize health camps. We used to stay there for like maybe 7 days, and then build a road for them to climb above the mountain and then reach. So these things, I was always part of these. And then in Bangalore also, when I came, I was in fact part of the seed initiative as Smart Q as well. Yeah. And I was
seed initiative in Smart Q is basically tied up with the school, where we go ahead and spend a Friday. Some of the people volunteer their time and spend a Friday in teaching kids different either subjects or topics or activities as well. And Surajitha was very active in that. Very happy to see her contribute that way. So that's about the seed initiative, guys.
Yeah. So that way I've always been active. And in Bangalore also, I was actually looking for volunteering opportunities. I had in fact mailed a lot of NGOs, but unfortunately I did not get any response. And, that's when within that process, through Smart Q, I reached out to...
When you were doing actual office work, you ended up figuring out your...
Exactly. Something that we are quite passionate about, yeah. And... I texted him on LinkedIn. That's this, and very. In fact, I actually congratulated him that you were doing such a great job, because I genuinely, value people who think about the society and at least want to contribute, because everybody has 24 hours. In the entire day, they have to divide that, and within those hours also, if you are taking your time to give back to the society, I think that's a very good thought in itself. So I congratulated him for that, and then that's how our conversation began. I met Antony sir after that, and then that's the entire story of how I met him.
Okay. And then you understood what Heart of Giving does, and then you're like, I'm ready to volunteer. Awesome.
Yes. That's how it happened. And I'm glad that, Sai was willing to, onboard me, and he was like, yeah, of course, like anybody willing to, go board.
You had the heart of giving, exactly. Yes, exactly what I told her.
Do you have a heart of giving?
So you're part of us.
Yes, simple as that.
Amazing.
Yeah, I was more than happy to have Surajitha, be part of my team. And of course, it took some time for her to be part of the team on the projects. So she was a bit upset about that. I said, no problem, I'll definitely take you where you can make a difference. And she did it. She was part of the Pink Room inauguration in the November, which we had. She made a big difference. My daughter also is with me. So I said, okay, fine. I asked my daughter to join me so that you both can pair up.
So how did you all conceptualize it? So it's an interesting thing, right? Not everyone knows about the Pink Room concept. I think it's something you all have implemented. Is it there as a standard, thing where most schools do have this as a facility, or is it something novel or a unique thing that has been set up? So if you could just share on those things.
See, this actually goes back to school days of my daughter.
Okay.
There is no Pink Room concept in Bangalore. Yeah, I've not heard about Pink Room's concept in any schools.
Me too. That's why I was asking whether it's a...
If I have to, many people ask me this question, what is a Pink Room? Anybody who I spoke to, they would ask me, what is a Pink Room? It was like that. So, I was actually on the way to Bagipalli when I dropped into one of the schools in Madnalli Cross. I casually went there, spoke to the principal. And when I was walking down the corridor, I saw the restroom. It was in a very bad condition. I said, what about the restroom for the girl children? He said, yeah, we have this. And a government school, so you can't expect more than that. I said, okay, fine, why not we do something? Give me a room. We'll convert it. I'll renovate it for you and we'll make it a pink room. So the pink room facilities I was thinking of was, there are two reasons. One, the experience what my daughter had way back when she went through the first menstrual cycle, when she didn't have the basic facility which she was supposed to have, and I had to rush from school, from office to school.
Okay.
When I went to school, I could see her embarrassed. She was in the class and, I could see the fear on her face. I removed my jacket and gave it to her. Like, she felt very bad. I as a father, I understand that. But for her, it was like, oh, dad knows it. And she asked my wife, why did you tell dad this? You could have told him, just come and pick her up. Yeah, I understood the challenges, what she went through. Right? That was always playing in my mind. And also, one of my colleagues, when I was working for MAFA, she came to me and said, Anthony, can we have a sick room? It will help. Because we were almost 60-40, 60 female staffs. And she said, can we have a sick room? We have a lot of challenges at office.
Okay.
Of course, we didn't have space. And I was thinking about it. Yeah, we should do that. Though I couldn't implement it, of course, for various reasons. And both these two incidents actually put together, I thought, in Madanalli, why not I do that? And I said, okay, fine. I can design.
Okay.
So I designed a room, and what should be there? What happens when a child, in my absence, what would my daughter done? Will she come back home? Will she be comfortable coming back home all the way from school, which is away about 22 kilometers?
Right.
I thought, okay, fine. If this is the case in the city, what happens in the rural? Will the child go back home with a stained cloth? And then I thought, okay, fine. We should have something which they can make use of then going home. One, it will, save them from losing the class. They don't take leave. So that was the thought. I said, okay, fine. We'll make the pink room, which has a Western commode and an Indian commode, 2 restrooms, and a changing room.
Okay.
Then a room in front where it has 2 beds and a table chair with books.
Right.
So the child, when the child falls sick or realizes only in school that she's got her periods, she can go to the restroom, the pink room. Right. The pad vending machine was there. The incinerator also was there. So there.
Pad vending machine.
Pad vending machines were there. One machine and an incinerator also.
Okay.
So they get to use that, right? And if you are not very comfortable going back to class, take rest 1 hour, 2 hours. Or if you feel okay, sit and study.
Right.
Go back to class. Don't go home. The next 3 or 4 days, you don't miss on class. For sure, I have all the facilities in school.
Right.
Therefore, I will not miss on class. So when you see that, on an average, even if you have about 50 students, girl students, right, we can just calculate how many classes they will not miss. How many people will not miss classes. So this was the first pink room in Karnataka. Kolar Madanalli was the first pink room in Karnataka.
Right.
So Bangalore Mirror carried this news. It says Kolar gets his first pink room. That's when, and that news actually reached the International Human Rights in Bombay.
Okay.
Where they had a interview with me behind the car. What is the reason about this concept and all that? So after which it actually made a big impact. People started talking, and then I got my they started calling me Pink Panther. I got my brand name as Pink Panther. Then the second pink room was on my birthday, 50th birthday. I said, okay, fine, today I make a difference.
Nice. You don't look so you look much younger.
And so I said, okay, fine, for half century, I need to make a difference. I said, okay, let me plan for that. And got the second one done. It was a full construction from the foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, from the foundation. That was the second one. Third one was what we did last month, which is again in Kalnur. So this actually made a big impact where Kamal Hassan actually called me.
Oh,
Kamal Hassan. I met one of the IPS officer and
what was the call about? So, like, what he congratulated you for this, or
no, I was sharing the dais with one of the IPS officer on the program.
okay,
So we got people introduced me to him, and of course, he's an IPS officer. I was a common person.
right?
Then when the person told him, sir, he's known as Pink Panther. He said, what Pink Panther? What Pink Chrome? When I explained it to him, he said, how did you think of this? How did you think of this concept? I said, just like that. And he just pulled me, he said, please take a picture with him. I want a picture with him. The next day he tweeted. He tagged the CM of Tamil Nadu and Deputy CM and also Kamal Hassan.
Okay,
Right? So next day he said, I met a Pink Panther of Karnataka and Bangalore yesterday. And I think he's doing a good job. We should implement the similar thing in Chennai or in Tamil Nadu.
okay,
And he said, next time when Kamal is in town, you have to come down to Chennai. Then I went, I think it was in September, October, I got a call that he wants to meet me. I went there. It was just a casual meet. Of course, he just wanted me to introduce this concept in Tamil Nadu. So Kamal Hassan actually spoke to me and he appreciated this concept. And he said, we should look at other schools. And he said, okay, fine, we'll do that. By then, the third pink room actually happened in Bangalore. Kalnur. That actually, the story was carried one day before the inauguration.
okay,
Why pink room? What is the reason behind this? And what are the facilities? How was it made an impact? So that story actually was published across Karnataka in all major papers, all major newspapers. So the Bal Vikas chairman called me. Of course, the story didn't carry my name or my number,
okay.
nothing.
But they found out who
They found out. So a lady called me and said, the chairman wants to speak to you. He'll be calling you. Please receive his call. I said, okay, fine. I was so packed that day. I missed his call. And again, I called him back. He said, I congratulate you on behalf of government of Karnataka. You have done a big job. It's something which we are supposed to do. You have done it. He is the chairman for Bal Vikas.
So this is the education for children, youth, is chairman of the body.
Yes, something like that. So he's from Dharwad, I guess. He said, next time I'm in Bangalore, we'll definitely catch up. I said, fine. Then I got a call from the MP of Krishnagiri. From his office, they called me. I shared some information. So then from somebody from Mysore called me. And the people who called me were all who had to actually search for my name, my number. Then the same thing was carried on Times of India, where the Rotary Club president called me. He said, we were thinking of doing this. You have already done. We are proud of you. So then I felt that, as an individual, if I can do so much, so government can really take if it takes it forward, it can make a big impact.
Right.
But the next day, I get a paper clipping from Chennai that government has sanctioned about 1.62 crores as a pilot project for pink room in Tamil Nadu. I still have the paper cutting. I was very happy. Though it's not that just because 21st or what happened on 21st, this news came in 2030. It wasn't that. So my first project was in 2022.
Okay.
So ever since I've been promoting pink room. Many people, good people, whom I don't know, have actually tagged our CM, Deputy CM, saying that Antony is doing a good job. Why not we take it up from the government side? Person by name Swayambhu.
Okay.
Right? We got to know each other for something related to the dogs.
Okay.
She's an activist, animal activist. So I know her just as, I wanted to adopt a dog and puppy, and she actually, that's how we got to know each other. But she actually promoted this by tweeting and tagging the CM. It went up to the PM. the final thing. She said, I've done my best. I've tagged Mr. Narendra Modi. Beyond that, I don't know what I can do. Yeah. So people started knowing this, how it can make a big difference to the boy child. So that's where now I feel that, I got to know last week that after this Times of India story, there's another NGO who has started the similar implementing the same
with schools.
I think for them it's going to be the first project.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel
Helping them, consulting them in any way, or
in fact, see, my YouTube channel has the complete information of what it is, how it is. Yeah, of course, I got a call from UP, somebody asking me. I've shared the diagram. I said, this is very simple. This is what you have to do.
Right.
So any help you required, I'll definitely help you. So my intention was like, it's not it may be my concept. I would have been the first person, but I want everybody else to try this across India, right? Especially in the rural.
Anyone should be able to implement it. Very simple. What you've done with that, maybe the design and the layout and the specifications, they can also build it.
Yes. Anybody can do it. Intention is it should spread.
Right.
So in fact, I was telling Surajitha also. She was telling, sir, we need to, promote this.
Even in corporates, it can actually.
So yeah. See.
In fact, to add that, Smart Q has FDOP, first day of period C.
Yeah.
So
People can apply, like women can apply leave, whenever they,
Yeah.
and then they, it's optional for them, but it's like included as a policy that there's a separate leaves for this as a company.
So I think that actually breaks the taboo behind menstruation and period. So that is what I see in pink room also. In the kids, they're openly talking about, this is pink room. Why is it like they know why we are there and why we are breaking up pink rooms.
So in rural areas, it's usually a stigma when it comes to menstruation. This is actually not only giving a facility but breaking that stigma.
Exactly.
So that's why it's like so impactful.
Yes.
It's not just the facility. And also you probably would have a change of clothes for them also set up inside the pink room.
Yes.
So
there's a change in
pink room. So yeah, I think a lot of things came together, sir, for you. Like you had that incident that's the deep thing that moved you to work on this, and then you had been working with the rural kids and you kind of understood their problems as well, and then of course you were also you could design, so
yes.
All those things came together and created this pink room. And I think it's great that it's getting so much visibility and publicity. I think we are also adding to that.
Yeah, it goes.
And hopefully it reaches all the right audiences to be able to implement it in their schools, or even we would probably we would also want to take this up to see how we can, if not the concept of, we also already have a restroom at office where people can lie down if they're not well, but adding some of the vending pads and also the insulator. So these things I think can be also incorporated as inside the office, and good thoughts from what I could take away. But the stigma is the big change that you are bringing about by changing the mentality of the menstruation. So very, very happy to see the progress and the impact you've made, sir.
Thank you so much. So in fact, I was telling Surajitha, see, you by my side can help me more in terms of talking to children. Not every child is comfortable talking to me, right? So I said, why don't you make a difference? Why not we go on a Saturdays, when you're off? Bring awareness to people, to the children, not only to the girls, to the boys also, right? So we have to make the boys feel. See, I happened to speak to one of the corporate. I don't want to name them. And I told them this. They said, no, the boys will get to know that the girls are going through the period. I said, what? At the corporate level, if you have got this mindset, then what would happen to rural girl boys?
Yeah.
Right? I was surprised. I said, it's okay. We'll not discuss.
Because mindset change that.
We have to change our mindset. Right? The boys should feel that. I in fact shared a video where awareness is given to boy children also. The boys, they go and get the sanitary pad for the girls. was very beautiful video. I don't remember the name of the person, but yeah, I saved that video so that we can show it to the children in rural the next time when we go there. So let's understand that everybody has a woman in their life. Mother, the father, the daughter, sister, right? We need to break that.
Yeah.
Right? So Surajitha is really helping me in terms of breaking up stadium there, yes.
Amazing.
No, it's really nice to see that people coming out talking about period soap, period act, breaking the taboo. So yeah, it's a way in itself. I will say.
What are some of the ways that, say, people who are watching this video, people in SmartQ, could contribute and help in the initiatives that you are doing, sir?
One is like, a new foundation. I'm only 2 years old, 22 is like, it's very difficult for me to raise funds. Right. As a newcomer, I it's very difficult for people to, because each pink room would cost us about anywhere between 4.5 to 5.5 lakhs. Okay, on a turnkey basis or whatever, depends on the renovation or a complete project.
Right.
It's a big money. So for somebody to trust us, it's difficult. It's going to take some time because we are only 2 years here. I don't even have my FCRA where people can trust me that, you have filed a 3 years return. I have filed only 2 years.
Right.
So people do trust us is going to take some time. But therefore, we have decided that Surajitha, there's one Mr. Arun, our team member, we have decided to contribute whatever we can. Instead of multiple projects, one project a year. Right. One side within the internal team.
Right.
There will be a day when corporates will definitely look for Surajitha, Antony, Arun. They think that we would like to go through you, partner with you in terms of coming up with more pink rooms. Because doing a pink room is not so easy, like just go there construction. No, it's not that. You have to get the proper approvals from the BOs.
You have to speak to the government officials.
Yes, you have to get the approval. The school has to be prepared. They should be okay with it. Of course, everybody wants it. And again, you need to have space, right? Water, electricity. Then again, you have to go to the block education officers, get their approvals. They will have multiple questions on that. Right? Then you have to figure out how many girl students are there. Even before we think of a project in that school, how many girl children are we going to impact? Right. It also matters. If we are only 10, 15 and we spend about 5 lakhs, it's going to be difficult. Instead, you can look at 100 girl children where it will make a difference in investing so much of money. So the proper approval process, from the request to their closure letter, saying a thank you letter, hey, we have received your pink room, thank you so much. Right. So it's a big process. So it's not easy that any corporate can do, any corporate can fund.
Yeah,
but doing it is a bit challenging.
And that's where they can partner with.
Yes, or they can definitely partner with us. And because though I registered in 2022, I've been from 2016. So I know. In fact, most of the schools and the BOs also know me in person because of the new concept. The name has got widely popularized in Kolar.
Right. So I think there is one way, obviously, by contributing through funding. The second way is also volunteering their time in any way. Where do you see that could happen? Like, is there any channels how they can volunteer?
Of course, yeah. Like as I told Surajitha, why not we do it on a Saturday? Yeah, Surajitha is alone. If she has another couple of people more with her, we can spend more time with her. Yeah, we can plan. Okay. In a month we can at least cover 2 schools, not more than that if it's not possible. At least 2 schools where you can educate. Not only even if you're looking at a lab, like as you asked me, setting up a lab is not big. We need to know who can operate that to teach the students. That's more important.
Who's the teacher? Are they trained?
Are they trained? Can they do it?
Yeah, the implementation and execution is
more important. So my first question to anybody is, do you know how to operate a computer?
And so you being in that domain of, the facilities, infrastructure, so you understand it very well from how to set up things and how to make sure it's getting utilized. I'm sure that has also helped you in
very much.
Very much. And I think for all our viewers, I think if we can leave us with a couple of, say, maybe an email ID, we can probably add it to the link, and also a place where if we could want to contribute, people who want to contribute, we'll add, if you can share us the details, we'll share it to all the viewers who could
Of course.
want to contribute.
Yeah. So one is like, we have ensured that we maintain transparency to all our donors. Of course, we have very limited donors, very close friends and colleagues. We make sure that every rupee that they contribute after the project or what it is used for, a regular update is given to them. And also our reports, last two years financial reports is on my website.
Right.
We have made sure that the audited balance sheet is on my website. So website is actually, it's heartofgiving.in. You have a donate button there where you can donate.
Already there.
Yeah, so you get a ATG immediately. And apart from that, of course, at the end of the year, we send the formal ATG issued by the government where they can claim their exemption.
Okay.
So we've been religiously doing all that. So I have Miss Sarita who's actually taking care of the financials, the issuing the ATG and make sure that the reports are prepared on time.
Okay.
And the donors are updated in terms of where the money has gone, how it has gone. So Arun, Sarita, Surajitha,
Okay.
Ashok,
Your team.
my team. Yeah, everybody has a role to play. So everybody is very important to me. So I may be the face, without them,
Amazing.
not possible. Without my wife, I don't think it's possible.
Amazing.
So one behind me, always. So feels good. Yes, yeah. One is that, yes, we have created history. That's one satisfaction I have. I keep telling Surajitha and my team, nobody knows who's the first person who's gone to the moon. You know?
Neil Armstrong, yeah.
Second?
Second, we don't know.
I
I
don't
think some Russian, but yeah.
That's what. So I say, we need others also to implement this bring in the pink room concept in every school. But yeah, we have made an impact. We are the first.
Pioneers.
Pioneers, right? So let's be happy about it. We have made history. Even after our death, you will have people talking. There was a person by name, so and so, who made a difference in our life. Right? So I'm happy about that.
Great, sir. Great to share your intentions and how you see why you do this on a daily basis. What moves you every day to do this, and you're not looking at today, tomorrow. You're looking at leaving behind a legacy that people can look up to and get inspired from. And with that, I want to ask, if you have any parting thoughts for the audience, anything that you want to share as a message to the people, we can leave that as the part.
Like I just said, see, the pink room concept also helps us in sustainability, right? The number of pads used goes into landfill, right? So when you have an incinerator, of course, the government is providing incinerator to everybody, every school.
Okay.
So it is disposed in a good way.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to the landfill. Right? If you see the number of pads, used pad going to landfill, it goes in millions of tons. Right? For that to get decomposed takes about 600, 800.
Is it the same case with diapers also? For kids, babies' diapers?
Yeah, it's also plastic, right?
So this also needs an incinerator?
Yes. So if everybody looks at saving a unit of power, right, you will be planting one tree. In the sense, a tree would need about 22 kgs of CO2 in a year. So if we save on energy, you will indirectly be planting a virtual tree. So if you save about 10 units, right, in a month, you'll be saving 120 units per year. So you'll be virtually planting about 8.2, at least say 10 trees, right?
Yeah.
So if people can, promote this pink room, where I'm talking about landfill, we are also focusing on sustainability.
Right.
Right? So if people can come forward, I'm not talking about other things, but at least where I am very focused about, if people can come forward, the government can come forward, we can avoid landfills. Instead, there, you will be part of the climate change, bringing it back, right?
Right. So you're saying one is the plastic decomposition,
Yes.
which gets impacted, and you're saying it takes about 1 unit of energy for every for the landfill activity related.
Yes.
So instead of we can save both of this, then over a year you'll be literally saving 8 trees, 8 to 10 trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a different way to think about this, and this could be a message which will resonate even with corporates to contribute to this cause.
I have a request with you also, Keshav.
Yes.
If you could just tell your people,
I will, sir. This will be promoted.
make sure that you switch off the light
Right,
when you leave the AC and light when you leave the cabin.
right,
Every unit saved is 2 earned.
right.
In a year, when you see, even if you have to save about 10,000 units per year, you will be planting about 414 trees in a year.
Right.
Virtual trees, right?
Right.
It is not for them, it is for their future. Their children, their grandchildren.
Yes.
Right? By 2030, in fact, everybody is working towards sustainability, bring down the carbon footprints by 2030.
Right.
Right? Everybody can be a part of it.
Yes.
Because you are also, you know why? Because if you have gone through Corona, during the COVID, we struggled for oxygen,
Right.
right? So that should be an eye opener.
Right, sir.
So that should be that's my message to all the corporates. Tell your people, switch off the lights, save 1 unit. Be happy that I planted 1 tree a year, enough,
Right.
right?
That's a great message, sir. Thank you so much, Surajitha and Antony, sir, for sharing your thoughts, your time, your story. It's really inspiring, to say the least, of what has been done so far, and I can see a long future with your energy, with your passion towards this cause. I can see a long, bright future, and we're happy to support in the ways we can, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.